In my eyes, Godzilla 2014 is the canon Godzilla game. I consider it his best portrayal in the medium. It intimately captures his weight, his sheer destructive power, and the viscerally explosive nature of his rage. This is a game where you demolish cities in great displays of godly might, bolstered by an appropriately larger-than-life arcadey atmosphere. Despite this, the game is still in some ways a kaiju simulator, bringing the sheer scale of violence to the forefront. Balancing both the simulation aspects and arcadey aspects is where Godzilla comes together or falls apart, depending on your perspective. To start, the controls are heavy, slow, and deliberate. Every action you take is a significant investment as Godzilla lumbers across the screen, being a particularly powerful wall of meat and muscle. Turning is slow, attacking is slow, charging is slow, but the methodical nature of these actions lends the whole thing a sense of impact and gravitas. The cumbersome controls are integral to the experience, and the game would be far worse with a smoother alternative. As to the arcadey avenue, the game tries to build a traditional system of risk-reward. At any given time, you have three primary objectives, whose importance is dictated by player priorities. You need to destroy power generators to end the level, but you need to destroy buildings to increase in strength, and you've also got to watch out for your fellow kaiju. This immediately incentivizes critical and strategic thought. For example, if you go after the kaiju first, you may be too underpowered to beat them, and you'll run out of time to destroy the generators. But if you leave the kaiju alive instead, they'll try to stomp you while you complete your other objectives. Your priorities will ideally shift as each stage progresses, and a variety of factors weigh on said priorities, like which kaiju you're fighting and how nearby destructible scenery is. Overall, I think the game design is seriously solid, and it only gets better when you factor in the atmosphere. Godzilla 2014 is primarily about Godzilla's relationship with humanity and the Earth itself. You see this in everything, from the novel difficulty select, where the challenge level is decided by the country's current leadership, and the truly terrified screams and mutters of disbelief from the citizens and military commanders alike. Everyone here is trying to guess at Godzilla's motivations, trying to forge some understanding of his physical and psychological characteristics so that they might defend themselves, but he's an inscrutable and unstoppable force of nature, literally. This is demonstrated best in battles with other kaiju. There's something profoundly, existentially eerie about seeing a behemoth silhouette on the skyline, then gradually marching forward as you and your foe both tear through the flaming wreckage of civilization. This is a conflict beyond mankind's understanding, unparalleled in its destructive magnitude. I'd considered ending the video right there for the sake of artistic flair, but I'd be remiss not to mention the sheer volume of playable characters. You can control every kaiju you encounter, and they all have their own nuances. Playing as Hedorah is vastly different from playing as Godzilla, which is vastly different from playing as Batra. Speaking of which, if I can be self-indulgent, you can play as Batra in this game. That's so cool! I love this guy, he's my favorite. But yeah, basically, Godzilla 2014 is nice and cool and good.